Looking for people, looking for people. I know, out of all the, out of all the people you see that are walking around the city, should have brought my headphones. I don't have them. The city's so loud. I don't have them. I don't like walking around with earbuds in my ears, you know? Earbuds in your ears is like the most annoying thing when you're walking around the city and you got earbuds in your ears. You can't hear what's going around you. You know, somebody could be sneaking up behind you to grab your phone, and you got those earbuds in your ears, and you're like, your phone is gone, right? Your phone is gone in 2 seconds. So, let me see if I can flip this camera. I want to see. If you can flip this camera. No, that's a heart. That's not flipping the camera. Can we flip? How do we flip? Oh, I see. Flip. Ah, now you got the other side. I got it. Now you got the camera flipped around. So we're walking here. It's a really nice day. Beautiful day. Warm. In here. It's a really nice day. Beautiful day. Warm. Really warm today. I think tomorrow is going to be like heavy-duty rainstorm. That's why it's so warm today. But we're walking here. Let's see who's joining. I got to see who's joining this deal. Yeah, we got Charles joining. We got Troy joining. We got Judy. How you doing? We got Pamela. We got Chad. We got Jazzy. We got Troy. I said Troy. Robert. We got Balablos coming. Oh, the Leopard is back. Nice to see you, Leopard. Yeah. You say hi. Hello, hi. Autumn trees, fall leaves, summer breeze. You got it. The number, yes, thank you so much. That guy Alan is back. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Appreciate that. I got to stand on the side because, it's hard to see in the sunlight who's saying what. You can't really read the comments. What do you want to see? Me walking, or you want to see what's in front of me? You don't want to see me. You want to see what's in front of me, right? I'll show you what I'm wearing later, but you can see where I'm going. Where am I going? There's Whole Foods. This is the Upper East Side. I guess it's better this way because I could hold the phone closer. You could hear me better. If you're looking at me, I got to hold the phone further away. It's harder to hear me because I don't have the, not wearing any earbuds. I used to do this all the time. I used to walk around with the phone. 2015, 2016, I used to use Periscope and go all around the city and show people what was going on in Manhattan. I was one of the only people doing it at that time because there was no live streaming apps back then. Now there's a lot of different ways you could stream, different platforms, but back then there was nothing. What tie did you choose? Ah, the Leopard. What tie did I choose? I'll show you. Let me flip the camera. I'm wearing it today. I'll show you what I chose. Let's flip it. Boom, there we go. Haha, there's the tie. I went with the really classic. I like color, I like all that stuff, but I went with the really classic look today because, white shirt, but I've been wearing this suit because it's very hot out, so I went with this lighter weight suit. The flannel suits are over. I can't wear flannel anymore. It's too hot, too warm. Even 60s is too warm for the flannel, so I'm gonna have to start to break out the more summery, more spring suits. I have a lot of light colors. Some of them are too light. Got to wait another, middle end of May to wear the really light colors. Like I got light blue, and I have a beautiful light gray with a navy blue plaid, which is a nice one. But I'll break those out. I'll break those out pretty soon. We're gonna head over to the. I think we're gonna head over to the post office. This is 86 and 3rd. This neighborhood in the 80s and the 90s, this was like a whole, not so good here in the 80s and the 90s on 86 and Lex, 86 and 3rd. All kind of crazy kind of stores, and now it's all different ball game. Now it's all very different. Hello. Nice to see you. How are you? I am good. I got to look at what's going on around me, and I can't look at the phone every 2 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to get hit by a guy on a bike, you see? If you don't watch where you're crossing, these bikers come down and they go, bam, they knock right into you, and the guy on a scooter. See that? So you only got to watch for the cars. You got to watch out for the bike lane. So that's the dealio. So you got to look at where you're going. And also, I don't want someone's going to grab my phone right out of my hand while I'm not looking. That's why people walk around with the earbuds. I don't know if you heard me say it earlier when I first came on. I know it takes a couple seconds for people to get in the live, but if you're walking around with the earbuds, you can't hear what's going on around you. Someone's going to walk up from behind you and they're going to go, beep, and they're going to grab the phone right out of your hand. And before you know it, the phone is gone, right? $1,600 iPhone, gone. And ain't nothing you could do, because they're gonna run, they're gonna go, boom, they're gonna run right across the street into traffic, and there's no way you're gonna get them. That's like those guys used to be when I had my store on Fifth Avenue. Those guys used to play 3-card Monte. Who remembers 3-card Monte? Show us my what? My what of Lamborghini? My fleet. Why would someone grab my phone? Why wouldn't they grab my phone? This is the city. This is New York City. This could happen anywhere. In a major city, you gotta watch what's going on around you. That's how it always is. Look, I was being in the retail business for so many years. You become attuned to always looking to see who's next to you, who's behind you, who's doing something. It just becomes like a second nature type of thing. You know, that's just sort of what happens. And I'm holding on the phone tight. Don't worry. Otherwise, it would be in my pocket. You know. So you always just got to pay attention to what's going on, right? Never been to New York City. Well, you got to come. You got to come at least one time. There's always a couple of places you got to see one time, right, in your life. I would say New York City is one of those places. You should see Paris and Rome, probably those places. Iceland is a bucket list place to go. I was there. Iceland is like being on Mars. If anyone's been to Iceland before, that place is really phenomenal because it's so unusual and so different compared to anything else, that's on the planet. You want to go right up next to the volcanoes, you go there, and you're going to walk on the lava. You better bring some good shoes to walk on lava, that's for sure. And they call it Iceland, but it's very green, and Greenland is ice. It's sort of like reversed, It's sort of like reversed, right? Gotta visit the city, definitely need to visit. Yes, the Vatican is amazing too. I was at the Vatican. I saw the Pope once in the 1980s. John Paul. I saw the Pope one time give one of his speeches from the window. I was there in the Vatican. Saw that. The Vatican I've been a few times. Amazing place. And also another place that everybody should really go, just because of the history of what happened, should go to Auschwitz. Because no matter how much you might be into like World War II, and you might study that in school, and you might see movies, nothing compares to when you're standing right there. You can't even imagine what it is like to stand in Birkenau and Auschwitz with the train tracks. You can't even imagine it. That what went on there, and you take a tour. It's just a phenomenal, unbelievable thing to see. And everybody should go there at least one time. Everybody, even, you take your kids when they get to be a certain age, not little, but when they sort of understand, and you take them, and teenagers, and you see what's going on there. Are you the new Pope? I'm the Pope of Greenwich Village. Remember that movie? The Pope of Greenwich Village. That's me. But don't get me hooked up with the bed bug. Remember the bed bug from that movie? I'm sure. I love a place with history. Yes, Teresa, yeah. Absolutely. I'm not the new Pope. They're not looking for me. Right? Everyone's probably watching that movie now. What's that movie that got nominated for the Academy Award? Was that The Convocation or something? Where they choose the new Pope? Everyone's probably watching that movie now to say, hey, how are they going to pick the Pope? But I remember when they picked this last guy. That wasn't too long ago. It really wasn't too long ago. Johnny Dill. I broke up my ex. She had so much bedbug. Yeah, bedbug. No, in that movie, you got to watch that movie. It's an old movie called The Pope of Greenwich Village. It was with, Eric Roberts. Everybody knows Eric Roberts, the Julia Roberts' brother. Eric Roberts was in it, and what's that other guy whose face is all messed up now? Who remembers the guy's name? I can't remember his name offhand, right? Do you call in sick when it rains? No, why would I call in sick when it rains? I don't call in sick when it rains. Who's the guy who was in that movie? Somebody look it up. Eric Roberts and that other guy who became a boxer. He's a very good-looking guy. And, his whole face got messed up from boxing and plastic surgery. He's still an actor sort of now. But you gotta see that movie. The movie you're referring to is Conclave. Yeah, that's Conclave. Yeah, Mickey Rourke. That's right. Mickey Rourke, Eric Roberts, and the Pope of Greenwich Village. In that movie, there's a guy called the Bedbug. He's like the mob guy. And then somebody owes somebody money, and then they cut the guy's thumb off. And he's yelling, they took my... That's Eric Roberts' his famous line. That's his famous line in the movie. He took my thumb. He took my thumb. That was the reference to the thumb there. Yeah, Conclave. That's the movie. Everybody's watching it now to see what they're going to be doing there. Oh yeah, Eric Rourke was a very good-looking guy. So was Eric Roberts. I mean, he's older now, but he's a great actor, Eric Roberts. You know, really good actor. The Leopard, thank you. Anchorage is here, Anchorage, Alaska. Thank you, Anchorage, Alaska. So maybe we're gonna go into the post office. Let's go check in to see what's going on in the PO. You wanna see what's going on in the PO? Gotta run into the post office, check a couple of things, and then I could keep you guys on here unless they got a sign at the post office, no streaming. I don't think so though, but let's see. Shh, gotta be quiet in the post office. So that's all right, no problem. This post office, that's like a library in this post office. You know, it's quiet. You see how quiet it is in this post office? Oh, I'm using the wrong, what am I doing here? Okay, we got a bunch of junk. And we got more junk. That's all we get is junk. Everything's junk. All right, whatever, we'll carry it. We'll carry it. Let's go outside. So we delivered a bunch of suits today. Yeah, we had, because everybody was away for the holiday, for Passover, for Easter. Everybody was away. Nobody was around. Now everybody's back. So they're all saying, where's my stuff? So we brought somebody there 4 pieces, brought somebody else 6 pieces. We'll do a little tailoring on that stuff. My post office is tiny, about the size of a 1-car garage. Well, this is one of many post offices that post POs that are in New York City. Of course, the biggest one is over on 8th Avenue behind Madison Square Garden. That one is like, forget that post office over there is like an airport, that post office. And I think it's open, I know during special times of the year like tax day and this kind of thing, they're open like midnight, that post office. You know, so thanks for coming in, everybody. It's hard to see the names with the sunlight. You know, with the sunlight on the phone, it's hard to see the names. I always just like to call out people who's coming into the live, say hello, but it's very hard to see. Love the streams. Oh, thank you so much, Jake. Please follow, please share if you like. I haven't done a live stream in Manhattan in quite a long time. I mean, I come here all the time. I just don't do live streams in the city. But I'm usually doing it from my, you know, my studio where I do the clothing design and everything, and I do it there. And so those streams, if you see me before, those go for like 3-4 hours when I do them. We talk about everything, business, we talk about clothing, we talk about all kind of stuff. And by the way, some of these streams, I save them, and then I strip out the audio, and I make it my podcast. So if you check out my podcast, it's all been done before podcast, on all the wherever you listen to podcast, Apple or Spotify or wherever, you can listen to the past TikTok live streams as audio. So that's, I think, pretty cool. And we're getting pretty good downloads. I don't know who's listening to me for 3 hours, but there's stuff you could learn in those 3 hours. You could fast forward if you want, you know. Let me see, we've got some comments here. It's hard to see. Let's see, what do we got? We got, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you for all the stuff everybody's sharing and giving, whatever, flowers and hearts, stuff like that, right? So let's keep walking here. This is, where are we? 3rd Avenue and 85. And let's walk back up this way, walk back to 86. We'll stay on 3rd Avenue for a little bit, right? We'll walk over here, 3rd Avenue. So that's the tie that I went with. For those of you who saw my last post, I had 3 different ties. And one was like a paisley with gold and purple. One was a very light gray with pink little flowers and silver. And then this one. And everyone had to pick. Everybody had to pick what tie they think I should wear. I just saw somebody I knew, so I was waving to somebody. They think I should wear. I just saw somebody I knew, so I was waving to somebody. Everybody. Some junky telemarketer trying to call me. Here's a big AT&T store. That's one of the main AT&T stores in the city here. 86th Street got a lot going on. You got Fairway Supermarket, you got ice cream stores, you got regular stores, you got Lululemon over here, you got J. Crew is here, Banana Republic is here. There were some other stores that were here that closed up too. Over here, you got J. Crew is here, Banana Republic is here. There were some other stores that were here that closed up too, especially since the pandemic. Sent hot dogs. Now it's a bit Now it's a big hole in the ground. They're building a new building right here. But Gray's Papaya, that was like a mainstay in Manhattan for like a bazillion years, right on that corner. They have another one on the west side, but that's where it was. People used to go there for like a papaya juice. I once had a meeting with a guy who was selling a building. Is the suit store you used to work at still there? No, the suit store that I own, a guy who was selling a building. Is the suit store you used to work at still there? No, the suit store that I owned was on Miss Avenue. So this is 3rd Avenue, East Side, and the store was in Midtown Manhattan on 51st and Madison. If you know Manhattan, Saint is on 51st and Madison Avenue. I was right next to St. Patrick's, and 5th Avenue is one block over, and that's Rockefeller Center, 51st Street. So I was right there, and Saks Fifth Avenue was there also. So my store was right there in the middle of the whole thing, right across the street from the New York Palace Hotel, which is now called the Lotte Palace. It's owned by South Koreans, Lotte. I think it's a South Korean hotel chain. Originally, it was the Helmsley Palace, which was Harry Helmsley, a very big real estate developer here in New York, who passed away a long time ago, and his wife passed away, Leona Helmsley. She passed away a long time ago. And actually, my relative did his will. You know, my relative was a wills and estates attorney. He did Harry Helmsley's will. And Leona Helmsley, she left like $100 million to... Shut up! With the horn, you can't hear a thing on the street. Anyway, she left like $100 million to her dog. Something stupid like that. You know? Eccentric, as you could say. Can you make a suit out of those orange things on the street behind you? What? I didn't see what orange things. You mean a cone? Those plastic things? I can make an orange suit, no problem. I have the fabric. Beautiful. 92% wool. It's 93% wool, 7% stretch in the solid colors. I have every color. You want to make purple, yellow, orange, red. I can make a suit or a sport coat. You know, by the way, the pink color, that light rosy pink, very popular color now in Italy. Very popular color in Italy now. This is the big Whole Foods that, now owned by Amazon. So if you're in the city and you live in a walk-up and you get packages and there's no doorman, where are you going to get your packages? Well, you could come to Whole Foods. They have a locker and you can get your Amazon packages right here in Whole Foods. So you can do that. It makes it easy for some people if there's no package room in your building. Do you make golf pants? Yeah, 100%. Make golf pants and beautiful plaids if you want. I have gorgeous plaid colors, royal blues and pinks, and even I have a beautiful lavender with plaid. I mean, there's so many to choose from. It's hard to really say what there is because you have to look through the book, or I can email you swatches. You can say, "Ooh, I like that one." You could also make linen. I don't know how many people, they don't really linen for golf pants, do they? A lot of people like that Lululemon stretchy fabric. I have that too. You know that Lululemon fabric that people like now? It comes in like 10 colors. So you can get that Lululemon fabric, make golf pants out of that if you wanted to. But to me, I think a pair of plaid golf pants is kind of nice, right? Wear a nice polo shirt or something with the plaid golf pants. I think that's kind of cool. Do you make polos? No, not right now. I don't make any polos right now. You know, years ago, I had a store on 3rd Avenue on the corner of 59th. Ooh, this is good. Look at this. Ooh, those look nice. Huh? Ooh-wee. Don't those look nice? Huh? Those cakes look nice. This is a brand new place. I was never in here. It's not open that long. I wonder if they have any vegan, I should ask, any non-dairy or vegan stuff. You know, should I ask inside if they got something like that? Let me just go ask if they have something. Oh, beautiful. Wow, beautiful bakery. Let me show you this place. What's going on here? Interesting. Very interesting. Cherry cheesecake, blueberry cheesecake, every kind of cheesecake. Pecan, banana, red velvet cheesecake, Oreo, chocolate cheesecake. Wow, that looks good. Tiramisu, apple cheesecake, strawberry shortcake. Ooh, look at that chocolate layer cake. That's nice. And then the pies. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, babka. Looks kind of nice. Let's look at the interesting babka. I wonder how much it is. Probably $400. Right? Very nice, interesting, nice place. Right? Mini cannoli. Do you have any? You have any non-dairy or parve cakes at all? Vegan? What's vegan? Which one?
Over here? Okay. So the whole third shelf here is gonna be vegan. Okay.
The whole third on the from the top or from the bottom?
This one right here. Mine.
Oh, that one. Okay, I see it. I see it. Okay.
The whole shelf.
The whole shelf. Thank you. And what about the chocolate babka cake? Is that the regular dairy cake?
Chocolate babka?
The cake you have over there, yeah.
All the cakes
loaf.
are regular.
Regular?
Just not scented.
Got it. Got it. Wow, look at that hazelnut cake. Vegan. That looks kind of good, no? Peanut butter, vegan with nuts. Oreo chocolate, vegan. I'm allergic to dairy. That's why I asked for vegan. Not because I want vegan. I couldn't care less if it had eggs, but it's the milk. Chocolate, vegan, vanilla. Interesting. Very nice. Okay. Can I get one of those vegan, those hazelnut cakes, and the one peanut butter, whatever that is? Yeah, the peanut butter bar. Is that what it is?
And anything else, or
Just those two.
you want them in the same box?
To go. Yeah, please. So we'll try that. See what that is like. I never came in here before. But the muffins, look at those nice muffins, huh? All right. Ooh, what time is it anyway? I gotta get going. 2 o'clock. Oh boy, I gotta rush. Gotta get back to my car. I'm playing around here, and I gotta get back to the car. This is very nice. Yeah, perfect. You have a little shopping bag, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfecto.
That'll be $15.50.
$15.50. Okay.
Just tap when you're ready. Or insert.
Tap.
And tap or insert.
Well, maybe this doesn't have tap.
Maybe it doesn't have the option.
Oh, that's strange. I've been tapping all the time with a car that doesn't have tap. I must have got a lot of stuff for free because I tap and go, right?
Would you like your receipt?
No, that's okay.
So, enjoy, have a great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, let's head back out. Little impromptu purchase there. Wow, that was a nice place, huh? Wow, did you like that place? Let's get some thumbs up if you like that place, huh? I know they recently opened. They're not there that long, right? Let's see, what comments we got about that place? You like those cakes? Yeah, I'd love to see all of this. What was the bakery called? That is called Mia's Brooklyn Bakery. They must be in Brooklyn too. Mia's Brooklyn Bakery. I'll show you the bag in a minute. Yeah, Mia's Brooklyn Bakery. They're on 3rd Avenue between 88 and 89 on 3rd Avenue. It's fairly new. I remember they were building it less than a year ago. So it's only open probably less than a year or maybe 1 year it's open. But I got 2 little pastry things, $15. I mean, not terrible, right? But everything is expensive. I went last night, I had some vegan ice cream. Who knows Van Leeuwen? Van Leeuwen is everywhere. They got Van Leeuwen in all over the U.S. now, I think, all different cities. So I had 2 scoops of the vegan ice cream. I had a chocolate chip cookie dough and like a double chocolate brownie. $10. 2 scoops, $10. So everything is expensive. And it's not because of tariffs or anything. Just everything is expensive these days. That's what it is. No such thing as inexpensive anymore. You know? There's no such thing. So I got those. And we'll try one of those, after dinner. So, now I could see. I went under this scaffolding, and now I could see. Right? Love VL. Hello. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to go back to my car because I got to get going. It's getting late. Probably going to have some traffic driving around right now. Friday afternoon. Soon, you know what's going to be. The Hamptons will be opening up. in about a month. And then the traffic to get out of the city on a Friday is going to be like insanity. 'Cause everybody's trying to get to the beach, especially Memorial Day. Everybody's getting out of Manhattan at that time. That's why I like to be in Manhattan, because there's nobody here. You can go to any restaurant, you can go any bakery, there's nothing sold out. You go to any show, and that's because all the people are leaving, and that's the time to go, right? That's why I like Florida in the summer, because it's hot. I don't care about the heat. You're at the pool or at the beach, and there's nobody around. And you can get into any hotel that you want. But try and go in the winter, February, March, it's like impossible to go down there. Although I did go to Palm Beach for an event. That was nice. Palm Beach is nice. Right? So. Right now I'm going to go to my car. I was driving around. I luckily got a spot on the street because I park in a garage. It's right over here. And not too expensive, but I was able to park a little closer. I happened to just show up. Yeah, let me show you the sign. Let me show you this parking sign here. Let me flip it. Okay, there. Look at the parking sign. See the sign? Tuesday, Friday, no parking, 11 to 12:30. Street cleaning. So what happens is all these people who are parked here, either they're going to leave and go someplace else or go to work or whatever, or they're going to sit in their car for the 1.5 hours that sign says that they got to be in the car or not be parked here. And when the street cleaner comes, they're going to pull into the middle of the street. They're going to let the street cleaner go by, and then they're going to back up and go back into their spot, and they're going to wait until 12:30. It's exactly what they're going to do. So if the street cleaner shows up at 11, you got to still wait here till 12:30. You can't leave, because the sign says 12:30. If the street cleaner comes and it's only 11:30 and you have 1 hour to go, you got to sit in the car. Otherwise, the traffic cop is going to come by, look at the sign. Uh-oh, there's nobody in the car. I'm going to give them a ticket. Like I see this one over here. This car has a ticket. So that means sometime between 11 and 12:30, there was nobody in this car. See, there's a ticket on that window? There was nobody in that car between 11 and 12:30. And they got a ticket. Now, how much is the ticket? I think it's 75 or 125, something like that. So, rude. What do you do? What do? I make custom-made clothing for men. That's what I do. I have a factory in Italy. I make beautiful suits. You can see here my beautiful new charcoal gray pinstripe suit. I make shirts and ties, and I make this beautiful lightweight raincoat. Look, nothing inside. Look at this raincoat. Nothing in the raincoat. I got my keys in my pocket, but this is just a shell. So it's great in the warm weather in the summer if you just want to throw something on. I mean, today I really didn't need it, but I like to have the pockets to put things in. That's the thing. I like pockets. So even though it's on me and it's warm out, it doesn't really weigh anything. I could even sit in the car with it. No weight at all. Oh, damn, looking real dapper. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, that's what I do. So this is what I'm always wearing a suit almost every day. I'm wearing a suit. So look, I love doing this live. You got no idea. Love you guys coming in. We'll do another one maybe this weekend at some point. I'll be on from the studio where I do the suit design, and I have all my fabrics, and I'll show you some new fabrics that I got in. Did I get anything new lately that I didn't show? I mean, linen has been doing really well. I have 2 videos I made for YouTube, which I'm going to post soon. I got to do a little bit of editing. I really don't do much editing for videos. I just speak, off the cuff, off the top of my head, and I let the video go. I put an intro, and I put like a little outro with some music, and I put my logo in the beginning, and I just let it run like that. I don't get involved with so much editing. Just leave it like raw, really raw. So check out my YouTube channel, at Suit Cafe. Everything I have online is at Suit Cafe. You can just Google that, and everything's gonna sort of pop out, Yeah, these are bespoke. These are all handmade, all bespoke. This is a peak lapel, 2-button, single-breasted peak lapel suit. This is all made in Italy. All the fabrics are Italian, except I do have one book of British fabric, which I really don't like British fabric, but this book was particularly nice. So I got this book of British fabric, so I liked it a lot. And these are all bespoke. I make separate patterns for different customers. I have customers that are easy fit, but I have a lot of customers that are not easy. Tall, heavy set, short, big bellies. I would say my average size of pants that I make is like 41 waist. So most of my guys are bigger guys. So if anybody's a bigger guy, I could easily make you a suit. How much? How much they cost? They start about $1,650 is the starting price. $1,450, $1,650, $1,895, $2,195, $3,000, depending on the mill that makes the fabric. I make beautiful suits from Loro Piana. A lot of people like to use Loro Piana. That's one of the most expensive fabrics that I have. So those are up in the 3,000 range. But for what is going on, if you look online, and I look all the time, I look all the time. On my feeds, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, I'm always looking at suits, always looking at men's clothing. So it's constantly showing me new things. The algorithm knows what I like to look at. So it's always showing me menswear and men's clothing and shoes. And it's showing me watches. It's showing me Rolex, showing me Audemars. It's showing me jewelry. So that's all the stuff that I look at, luxury stuff, because I'm always looking at it. So sunglasses. So it's always showing me those things. So what happens is that I see the prices of what's going on in the retail stores like Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, even individual stores that people, individually owned stores around the country that sell the big name brands. And the prices have become, for off the rack, have become insane. How much would a three-piece suit and I have Harris tweed, but you really don't want Harris tweed in a suit. It's very heavy, it's very scratchy, it's expensive. A jacket is like $1,800 for the real Harris tweed. I have it. I have a whole book. I'll show it to you if you come on my live, maybe this weekend, watch for me, and I'll show you the Harris tweed book. But if you want that look without the heaviness and the scratchiness, you go with an Italian tweed fabric that looks like the Harris tweed, but it's made in Italy. It's softer, it's lighter. When you say tweed is not for summer. We're going into summer in New York. I don't know where you are. You could be in South America. But I can make you a beautiful Donegal tweed. Donegal from Donegal? Beautiful three-piece Donegal is gorgeous suit. It's more of a wintry suit, but it's not so heavy like a Harris. Now, Harris tweed, I can make a beautiful sport jacket or an overcoat out of Harris tweed with a nice big wide plaid. That would be gorgeous, because the plaid overcoats are coming back in style right now. Very popular in Italy now, are those window pane overcoats, plaid overcoats, and they're getting longer. The coats are getting longer. So that style from the 80s and the late 80s with the raglan sleeve and the belt on the coat when the coats were longer, that's all coming back in fashion now. Did you study history? I didn't study history, I lived it. I lived the history of men's clothing, because my great-grandfather was in this business, had many clothing stores. My grandfather had 10 clothing stores in New York City. My father had 3 clothing stores. I was in business with him. No, sorry, he had 4. And I was in business with my father, and then I opened my own clothing store, but I was still in business with him at the same time. So we really had 5 going on at the same time. And we sold all the big major brands. You name a brand. Just name any brand here. We sold it. The Italian brands, right? Wool is the best for summer. There's linen. I love linen in the summer. But linen gets wrinkled, and I love the wrinkled linen. You have to like the linen. But lightweight wool is the best for summer. That's what I'm wearing right now. I mean, this is like a midweight, so it's not super light. It's like a midweight fabric. It's good for today. It's in like the upper 60s, low 70s. But when it gets to be in the high close to 80, 85, then you go even lighter summer weight, and it's even better. Or linen. Even linen is good for that. So my family's been in this business. I grew up in this business. I've been around it my entire life. So, I'm not that old, but I'm old school, if you could put it that way. I remember the old timers in this business. I remember friends of my grandfather. They're probably all dead, but I remember them. And I remember friends of my grandfather. They're probably all dead, but I remember them. And I remember things that they said and things that I saw. So it's, and going to Italy with my parents, going to Italy with my grandparents. On buying trips and business trips. Everybody went to Italy. So that's right. Apple account. Thanks for joining, Apple account. Appreciate that, Apple account. Hard to read the screen in the daylight. Yeah, so I didn't have to study the history. I was sort of born into it, and that's really about it. I think that's going to be about it. I got to get in the car. I got to get going. I'm going to have a little bit of a traffic now, which I'm not looking forward to, but the weekend is coming. I heard tomorrow going to be a very rainy day in New York, like 1 inch of rain. So it's going to be a rainy day. But today, gorgeous, beautiful blue sky. You could see, there it is, beautiful blue sky. And thanks for sharing your stories and knowledge as always. Thank you so much. Yeah, Pacific, thanks for coming back in. G Money, I appreciate that so much for you coming in. And yeah, I'll strip out the audio of this and I'll make it a podcast episode if someone wants to re-listen. Or I also sometimes post the video of this and I'll make it a podcast episode if someone wants to re-listen. Or I also sometimes post the video of the lives on my YouTube channel. So you can watch it again, although it doesn't look so great because this is vertical and the YouTube is sort of horizontal. So you get big black bars on both sides. So thank you, daily reminder. You must be hitting every account, right? And if you want to check out Mia's Brooklyn Bakery, where I just walked into, let me flip the camera. I'll show you the shopping bag if you want to see what it looks like. There it is, Mia's Brooklyn Bakery. That's where I walked into, that cool bakery. If someone wants to call them up and say, send me an apple pie to Boise, Idaho. Send me an apple pie to Big Sky, Montana. I'm in Big Sky. I want your apple pie. Send it to me. Maybe they'll do it. I don't know. You never know. Thoughts on Brioni? Brioni, one of my favorite brands. I sold it for many years. Brioni was always known as the standard of the handmade menswear. You know, if you're going to Brioni, you're spending $5,000. That's the price of the suit. $5,000 and up is Brioni. To me, that's the standard. I love Brioni. Better than Kitana, better than Canali, better than Zegna. I sold all of those brands for many, many years. You know, my father was the first in America to have Canali. And we were one of the first to have Brioni. My grandfather had Brioni in the 1970s. Before they had showrooms here, before they had stores here, they had an agent. And the agent's I remember the agent's name. The agent's name was Cesar. That was his company. That was the guy's name, Cesar. And he was the representative for Brioni in North America. So Brioni had no people here, no workers, no showrooms. They had no stores. There was nothing. But they were in Italy, and this guy Cesar, he would go to Italy, go to the different factories. There was nothing. But they were in Italy, and this guy Cesar, he would go to Italy, go to the different factories. There were people who could do that. And those are the people that messed up the business, by the way. You know? This, I'm not sure what that means. You know? So anyway, those are the people that messed up this business. They would go to the factories in Italy and they would say, oh, I'd love to rep your brand. Give me the exclusive and I'll go to America and I know all the best stores and I'll sell your brand in all the best stores in America, New York and Miami and Boston and Chicago, LA, wherever they would go. But the problem was those people, when it came time to the stores to pay the bills, the stores would pay the agent, right? And then there was the stores would pay the agent, right? And then there was the agent's responsibility to, right now I haven't had a storefront for 10 years. After being 30 years with storefronts, I haven't had one for 10 years. The agents were supposed to forward the money to the factories, you know, take their commission or whatever their arrangement was. But guess what happened? A lot of the agents never sent the money to the factories. They kept the money, and eventually the whole thing exploded, blew up in their faces. The factories didn't get the money, and the agents went out of business, or they stole the money or whatever it was, and that's exactly what happened. So then all the brands, what became brands, said, you know what, we got to do it ourselves if we want to expand. Why don't we just go to America? We'll open a showroom, we'll have an office, and we'll give people appointments directly in our own office. We'll hand it all ourselves in-house. We'll hire local people in New York to run the showrooms. Maybe we'll send one person from Italy, like a family member. Like with Canali, they have Giorgio Canali. Giorgio lived in New York, he bought an apartment here, and then he went to the showroom every day. So they had a family member from the Canali family who was in the showroom running the show, and the workers were from here, the reps who show the line and the secretary or whoever was in the showroom. He has no store or factory, he's broke. Maybe, I could be. Possibly, right? Good afternoon, my brother. Looking good as always. Hope all is well, clothing world. Yes, all is okay. All is okay. So, so that's what happened when there was agents in the 70s and in the 80s. And then in the 80s, they all slowly came to America. Canali and Zegna and Brioni, and they all have showrooms. And then they all opened up their own stores. And then once they all opened up their own stores, it was the retailers, the small retailers, the mom and pops. Those are the companies that made the brands big, what they are today. You know, who would know Canali or Zegna if it wasn't for the small mom and pops who started showing it to their customers over many, many, many years to build that, you know, brand confidence. And then those brands opened up stores and they would say, okay, forget the mom and pop, come to us because we're the brand and we're the store. It's like buying direct, but it isn't buying direct because the stores buy what they think they can sell and the mom and pop stores buy what they think they can sell. So if you think you're going to, you know, the Giorgio Armani store and you're going to see everything Armani has to offer. That's not the case. You could go to Saks Fifth Avenue and see different Armani over there, because the buyer from Saks buys what they think the people in the Saks store wants, and the Armani store buys what they think the Armani people want to buy from the Armani shop. Usually the Armani shop probably has the most outlandish, most fashion-forward kind of stuff. You're probably not going to go in there and find like a navy blue suit or a pinstripe suit, something classic like this with the Armani label, because that's not what someone's going to the Armani store to buy. If you look at my video, I made that double-breasted suit with no lapels. I copied an Armani suit for a customer. That's what's in the Armani store, suits with no lapels. He never had his own business. He worked as a salesman. No, I never worked in a department store. No, that was not me. I was never a department store at all. I used to go to a department store, and I used to buy stuff in the department store if I saw something interesting. Like one time in early 1990s, it was after 1992, because I already had my store on Fifth Avenue. So it could have been 93 or 94. There was this very fashion-forward store on 57th Street. I can't remember the name. I want to say Cavaricci, but it wasn't Cavaricci. They had a Gianni Versace. Versace was just getting going then, like 93. They had a Gianni Versace shirt in the window, and it was a tuxedo shirt, like a formal shirt, and it had a banded collar with a black band and a big button in the neck. You couldn't wear a tie with it. I saw that shirt. I'm like, you know what? I can send that shirt to Italy, to the shirt factory that I was working with when I had stores, and I can copy that shirt in a regular. They were selling it in silk and viscose, like a strange kind of fabric. And I said, I can make that in 100% cotton with French cuffs, and I can make a beautiful tuxedo shirt out of it, and I can sell a lot of those. So I went in the store and I bought that shirt. This is 1993 or 94. It was $1,500 was that one shirt. I bought that shirt and I sent it to Italy to this factory called Dino. And we made these beautiful tuxedo shirts in different white on white, fancy white fabrics, right? You know, fancy white fabrics. And so I made that shirt. One second, guys. I made that shirt in fancy fabrics. I made that shirt in fancy fabrics, and we got them in, and we sold so many, hundreds and hundreds of that shirt. And I was selling the shirt for $250 at that time. This was early 90s. So that was a lot of money for a shirt. I think the most expensive shirt in the whole store was $195. This was $250. But we sold so many. We sold so many of those. But so that was something that I did. Yeah. So if you see something that's different or interesting and you want to, make it for yourself or have it in your own store and you don't have it or something, you could design something and you could do something like that. And I did it. I used to do that sometimes. So that's what you could do in this business, Do you have one of those shirts still? I don't, but you know what? I have a picture of my grandfather wearing one of those shirts in a birthday party. I forgot how old he was. Maybe he was 75 or 70. He made a birthday party for him down in Florida, in Miami, and he loved that shirt, had a high collar. He wore it. My grandfather loved Brioni. He had a lot of Brioni stuff. So I don't have one of those shirts anymore. No, it's a long time ago. I did wear one. Where did I wear one? I didn't wear one to my wedding because I wanted to wear a bow tie to look very classic for photos. And I used to say that to groom. People used to come to the store and they used to say, I want to get that shirt for my wedding. And I would say, you know what? Why don't you buy two shirts? Buy a regular tuxedo shirt for your wedding, wear a nice bow tie for the photographs, right? Because you don't want to look at yourself 10 years from now when it's out of fashion and say, why was I the idiot that wore that shirt? And I used to say, if you want to wear that shirt, buy it anyway. Wait till like half the party's over. Go into the back room somewhere, change the shirt, and come back out with like a different outfit. That would be pretty cool. And some people did that, Some people did that. Okay, my friends, it's 2:19. I got to run, and I'll see you all guys soon. Yes, the after party, lit, absolutely. Change your outfit. I once did a guy who wore the black tuxedo, and then he changed his outfit to a beautiful creamy white dinner jacket. The pants he was able to keep on because the black pants were the tux, but the top he changed. It was very cool. So I'll be back on live. Check out my my Instagram. Check out my TikTok account. Check out my podcast. It's all been done before. And my YouTube channel, at Suit Cafe, as usual. And as I always say at the end of all of my, I always say at the end of my YouTube videos, I will see you all again. Wealth of info, followed you, looking forward to more. Thank you, Link. Appreciate that. See you all again when I am back at it. Appreciate it. Take it easy. Have a great weekend.